we will be discussing about the vector surveillance. Vector surveillance. Why the vector surveillance is important? So the first question is why the vector surveillance is important. It is important in determining the distribution of the vector, population density of the vector, and major larval habitats of the vector. It is also important in determining the spatial and temporal risk factor related to the vector-borne diseases. Even to assess the levels of insecticide accessibility or resistance in order to prioritize the areas and season for vector control. So the vector control surveillance data will be useful for selection of appropriate vector control tools and can be used to monitor the control operations. There are several methods available for detection and monitoring the because we have the different stages. We have the life stages. If you see egg, larval, and adult, generally we are restricted with larval and adult population. So the selection of appropriate method depends on the surveillance objectives, levels of infestation of the vector, and availability of the resources. So, in summary, the purpose of vector surveillance, that means survey methods, the collection method, what we are using, it is to determine the presence or absence of the target vector species in a particular place. Then we collect large number of target vectors for laboratory use, such as vector incrimination. That means pathogen isolation, then testing of insecticide resistance. So then we have to determine also the population level in relation to the space and the time. So determining the population level and changes on temporal as well as the spatial spaces. You are listening now, audible now, participants?
Yeah, yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. So coming to that, already I told that there are different stages. We have egg, larvae, pupae, and the adults. So there are also sampling methods for egg population. There are two types. You can sample them the egg population from the natural oviposition site. For that, you have to use metal dipper or tray fitted with metal gauze at the bottom or strainer to sweep the water surface. Sometimes it is directly you can take a dipper sample and directly you can count. But in case of anopheles, it is very difficult. For keyless species, it is possible because they lay the eggs in raft, so you can count easily the egg raft. And direct observation in the habitat itself. This is possible only for Aedes species because the Aedes species they do not deposit the egg directly on the water but above the water surface. So easily you can locate the eggs. So the first we is in the natural population, natural oviposition site. The second one is placing artificial oviposition habitat, nothing but ovi trap. Any black jug or jar or bowls lined with a filter paper, you pour half of the filter paper should be dipped in water, the other half should be outside the water. So that will serve as a prohibition trap. You can collect after setting the trap after 1 or 2 days. You can collect the Aedes eggs. Particularly these ovi traps, it will be useful for collection of the Aedes eggs. It is in the practice also. So there are various types of oil traps, automobile tires also you can use, various type of systems, bamboo pots, black jars. This is the black jar. This one B. You can use for this is particularly these oil portion traps useful for the Aedes population. Easily you can make any black container lined with filter paper with water. So, what are the advantages of sampling egg population? This will be more useful with the species, already I told, which remain the species that remain in the egg state for many months. That is, in case of eggs, these eggs, you can collect the eggs in the filter paper, you can store them up to 1 year. So this collection of egg population, this method is useful only for aiders. Then this gives more information on the type of ovulation selected by the rabbit female. Again, it is a research question that third bulletin useful in ecological studies concerning the population dynamics. So, what are the limitations? Why we are restricting only few species? So, because it is difficult. Collection of egg is difficult except for Aedes aegypti and Culeus pingifaciatus, and more time consuming. Difficult even after collecting that. Suppose some anopheline eggs you are collecting, you are able to collect. Difficult in egg identification. The morphological description of eggs. This has been available only for few species. Because of that, generally, except for Aedes aegypti, except for oviputian traps, we are not concentrating on collecting the egg population. Now we will go for sampling the larval population. The choices are listed here: dipper, well nets or bucket, quadrates, then trapping devices, siphoning. That is also one method we will see in later. Uprooting and washing. These are the larval sampling methods available. We will see in data. So the dipper method, here I have given, you know that you use the enamel bowls, 300 ml capacity enamel bowls with 1 meter handle. That is most commonly used dipper. Very simple method. It can be used in variety of, I mean, most of the habitat, whether it is a river margin, rock pools, paddy fields, even drums, anywhere, everywhere you can use except deeper wells. It can be used in variety of mosquito breeding habitat. It can be also designed as per our convenience and requirement. So, what is the limitation of the dipper method? That is, you have to see that. So, some species always at the water surface. Some species of the larvae of some species they diverge to the submerge to the bottom of the water. So, the dipper method, depending upon the species, so it collects the larvae. Generally, the dipper method collects the larvae present at the water surface, but not the larvae present submerged larvae. It may be frequently biased for particular species, even instar wise also it is biased. Variation in the, you see, there are several precautions you have to take. Even that not only the efficacy of the collectors, you have to see how to make it deep. Your shade itself will make a because of your shade itself, the larvae that are present at the water surface that will go inside the water. They that are submerged to the bottom. So the larval net. So larval net they use, but it is useful to sample large volume of water and collect large number of water. So here the figure we have given that larval nets. Where well net. This is the special net. It is used for deeper wells. Generally, in the program or even for researchers, we are not making well net. Instead of that, we use well bucket 2 to 3 liter capacity instead of wellnet. So this is a figure that shows that the upper one is that they are shifting the water to A and B. This is wellnet is used in a deeper well. Coming to that, another method, quadrate. The quadrates are nothing but it is a rectangular metal sheets open at both ends. So this where you can use the quadrant. You can use in shallow breeding habitat like paddy field. One advantage of using this method is you can estimate the unit area of production. How many mosquitoes will emerge from that particular area. That is unit area production. You can estimate by counting the pupae inside the quadrant, not only counting the pupae, because you know the area of the quadrant and also you know the total area of the battlefield. From that, you can estimate the unit area production. This is one method. The other method, siphoning. So siphoning, where it is used. Siphoning actually particularly it is used in the tree holes. Again, it is depending upon the type of tree hole. You see the fear, you have two types of fear. One is the left side, if you see that the tree hole, it is having a wide mouth. Wide mouth. There you can use small spoons or pipette you can collect. The other one is you have that narrow mouth inside rainwater collections will be there. There what you have to do, the entire content of the tree hole should be siphoned out. You just using a siphon, you bring out all the entire content into the tray, then you have to count. Mostly Aedes species, they prefer to breed. Even the today what we are having that Aedes aegypti and Albopictus, they are all treehole breeders originally. Because of the deforestation, they have moved to the habitat that are prevalent in the human habitations. Clear? You are following now? Hello, participants? Participants,
Yes, sir.
you are following now? Hello,
Dear participants, please answer the question.
you are following or monotonously I am talking, but that only I am worried.
Participants, please reply me.
Whenever you are not understanding, you can ask me also. If you respond only, I think that you are all listening, otherwise you are not following or something. Hello, participants, all are silent. It is not audible.
Yeah, audible, sir. No issue.
Okay, okay. Shall I continue?
Yeah, yeah, you continue, sir.
Okay. It happened. So uprooting and washing. This is the another method where we can use, because you see that we have that Manzonitis vector. It is the vector of lymphatic filariasis caused by the Burugia malaria, that parasite. Because the entire tract of this Kerala, this is highly endemic disease. So the vector is Manzonitis species, uniformis, annulera, etc. So the larvae and pupae of Manzonian species are difficult to sample by the traditional method, dipper or method, because the larvae are they remain submerged and attached to the aquatic plants from which they get the oxygen. Because generally the larvae they have a respiratory siphon, with that they come to the surface, they get the oxygen. Here what happens, the Manzonian species larvae and pupae, the respiratory siphon is modified such that it will be a spine. So it is pierced into the roots of the aquatic plant and they get the oxygen. So here what to do? How to sample them? So you have to remove the plants and you have to wash it in the, you put it in a bucket and wash it, then remove the plant, then you have to collect the larvae. So it is uprooting and washing. So sampling larval population, what are the advantages? The larval survey is important, particularly in the program. Earlier we had larval control, that is QLS King set as larval control. Now they have switched over to mass drug administration, stopped with it. Larval survey is important to assess the control measures, especially against QLS. Essential to have more knowledge on the pre-imaginal. That means more knowledge on the egg, larval, and pupal stages of the mosquito vector. So their ecology. You can study the ecology of egg, larvae, and pupae for understanding the population dynamics, the duration of the larval duration. That means simple words, that incubation period of the egg, duration of the immature duration, that is larval duration, pupal duration. These are all the things we can study. So, what are the limitation in the sampling the larval population? It is difficult. You see, whatever we are doing, that is possible, but you have to see the limitation also. It's difficult to accurately monitor changes in the population size because of the fluctuation in the larval habitat due to the rainfall. So today, night heavy rainfall means tomorrow the entire habitat will be flooded. Then during the summer, you see the drying of larval habitat. So it is very difficult to monitor. Then inaccessibility and vastness of the breeding habitat, particularly the paddy field. You imagine that Tanjavur belt in Tamil Nadu, there are many places, Tungabhadra, the Karnataka, the belt, this is lakhs of acres of paddy cultivation. So they support the JE vectors. So how that is one important. The vastness of the large area of breeding habitats is one important constraint. Then again the unequal distribution of the larvae in the habitat and vegetative cover. Even the confined habitat, the distribution of the larvae is not uniform. Generally, you can see that the distribution you can classify into three: regular, random, and contagious. So the contagious, that's mosquito larvae, they follow the contagious distribution. That means clustering distribution. They are clustered in one place, not in other place. Then again the lack of standardization. So number of dips, suppose 1 square meter, how many dips you will take? Number of dips to be taken in a pit, ponds, canals, and paddy field, etc. Suppose canal, 1 meter, 1 kilometer length, how many dips then you have to take? These are the things we have to standardize. Then frequency of the sampling. At what interval you will sample. That is depend upon the immature duration, egg to pupa, how long it will take. So this is about the larval survey. If you come to the dengue vector, you have that larval survey, you are having house index, container index, Brito index. So after doing the survey, you are estimating the house index, container index, Brito index, and people index. That is very important. So far, whatever you have seen, you suppose with the larval, the unit of expression is you are using a dipper and measuring the estimate, monitoring the larval density. The unit of expression is number of larvae per dip. Once you come to the dengue vector, house index. Anybody can answer what is the house index? Hello, participant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
House index you understand or I need to explain again? House index,
Explain
it
again.
is,
Explain again.
I will explain.
Yes.
Okay, you can note down house index. Number of houses infested divided by infested means number of houses positive for Aedes larvae divided by number of houses inspected into 100. That is the house index. Then container index. Number of containers positive divided by number of containers investigated survey into 100. That is the container index. Brutto index. This takes into the account of HI and the CI also, house index also, CI also. So Brutto index, that is number of containers positive divided by number of houses inspected into 100. That is the Brutto index. People index means total number of people collected divided by number of houses searched into 100. Now what is important is whether that area is high risk or low risk or medium risk. So based on this house index and Brutto index and adult surveillance, you can see that if your survey says, larval survey says that the house index is more than 10, it is high risk. Less than 1 means low risk. Less than 1 means low risk. Brutto index. If it is more than 50, it is high risk. Less than 5 means low risk. Coming to the adult surveillance, we have only data on human learning collection. So number biting per man, if it is number biting per man, if it is more than 2 during the day, high risk, 0.2, it is low risk. So coming to the sampling the adult population, because the adult population, there are different stages of the population. In a given point of time, you will have that, suppose the daytime, most of the adults will be resting. In the nocturne, in the night time, what happen, or evening, what will happen, there are mosquitoes that go for taking blood milk, seeking, that is blood seeking females. Then there are female mosquitoes that goes for laying the egg, ovipositing the eggs. So now we have the different form of population. First we will see that sampling the blood seeking, that is post seeking female. There are two methods used. Because for that you have to engage the bait. There are two types of baits. One is you can use the human bait. Another one is you can use the animal bait. But here, what is the limitation is host seeking means only the unfed mosquitoes they will go for taking blood milk. So here the limitation is these methods sampling adult population using baits. They can collect only unfed hungry mosquitoes and are species specific. So this first one is a bed net trap with the human bait. The second one is a trap net with animal bait. This is the that is what is that sampling host seeking population. You can use bed net trap and trap net with the animal bait. So the next one is the very important one is the man landing collection. Previously man biting collection, now they change it to man landing collection. It is very important to assess the degree of man vector contact. In the first figure, you see that the collector he is sitting on the chair, exposing his leg. He himself he is acting as a bait and collecting the mosquitoes that are landing on his leg. The second one is that two persons are involved. One person acting as a bait, the another person acting as a collector, collecting the mosquitoes that are landing on the bait. So, but whatever maybe it is banned in many countries because of ethical objection. In endemic areas, you cannot expose any person to for the target vectors to bite. Coming to this is another trap called that is Magoon trap. This is nothing but this is developed by a scientist that Magoon. His name is Magoon. In 1935, this was designed and developed. These are all these Magoon traps are nothing but they are small wooden huts weighted with the small animals. That is just sheep or goat or cows, small cow. So they weighted with this. We see that the lower part is made of wooden plank. This is wire mesh meshing the upper part. All along the middle, you see that there is a longitudinal entrance slit through which the mosquitoes, because in the evening it will be said you will release a small animal inside, then you close. The mosquitoes that are attracted to the animals, they enter through the longitudinal entrance slit. So, but once they enter, the entrance slit is made such a way that only they can enter, but they cannot come back in that. So, morning the collector can enter, and you close the door. After entering, you can collect the mosquitoes. This is called Magoon trap, but we can make our own design also. So now these are the sampling adults with the light traps. It is commonly used method. Commonly used method. You can attach with the carbon dioxide also. There are also visual attractant trap. So this light trap, this is called a light trap. Locally also we can make, commercially also available. This is nothing but the body is made of a PVC pipe. that is around 11 centimeter length or 9 centimeter diameter. That body of that PVC pipe, a 6-volt DC motor is mounted in the middle of the trap, above which a 2.5-volt bulb is mounted. The mosquitoes are attracted to the light. Once the fan is on, the fan creates a downward current of the mosquitoes. I mean, downward current of the air. So the mosquitoes that coming nearer to the light, they are trapped, I mean, they are sucked down. If you fix a cage here, you can collect the mosquitoes. That is a CDC miniature. This now many places they are using. You can use it indoor as well as outdoor. Another trap, but we are mostly now many places they are using, but in India we are not also familiar. This is called GG Sentinel trap. Earlier it was on white color outside. Now they made it a dark blue color, so that the dark blue or dark color it attracts the Aedes mosquito. This is specially designed for Aedes mosquito, but also collects other Culex mosquitoes and anophelines. You see the trap design. Coming to that, there are A and B. Coming to the B, you see that the first part. This is a collection bag. Below that, the fan is mounted. Once the fan is on, it creates a downward current. Here you see that BGL. That BGL is a lure. Lure means attractant. So this current, this carries the water of the lure and it is released this way. It comes out of the trap. So mosquitoes are attracted to this lure. When they come to nearer to the catching bag, they are trapped into the catching bag. This is the BG sentinel trap, mainly used for collecting the Aedes mosquitoes. Then again, now sampling the gravid females. So here I have given this figure. This trap is called gravid trap. The trap attracts the females by means of an oviposition medium. But nothing but you have a oviposition medium in a tray. The trap attracts females by means of an oviposition medium that is contained in a pan. The trap operates inside the body. There is a fan. The trap operates by creating a upward current of air. The fan creates an upward current of air. The mosquitoes that are coming for oviposition nearer to the oviposition medium that are blown into the collection bag during the pre-oviposition examination of the oviposition medium. These trap particularly now we are using the because now the MDA we have given several rounds of MDA to monitor the post MDA situation. We can use these traps per night. They can collect hundreds of gravid, keyless, quinquefasciates. So that because you know that keyless quinquefasciates is a vector of lymphatic filariasis caused by Eukaryotic bankruptcy. That is the major problem. So that MDA impact, post-MDA impact, you can assess using these traps. These are all other traps, sampling adults with non-attractant trap. They are fixed in the ground level itself. Inside that, this is a plastic tube. This is the entrance. This is the outlet. In the entrance itself, you have first collecting bag. Then you have a fan inside. So the fan operates, it creates a downward current and releases the air, these things. So the mosquitoes that are they are coming to the trap, they are trapped. Here you are not using any attractant. So it samples all species, less biased. Then these are all called suction traps. This type of traps only suction, for suction only you are using the fan. Then we have that Malay trap, ramp trap. This is the here what we are going is a ramp trap. This is nothing but a tunnel of netting arranged in this shape. Then it ends with a collecting cage. So several traps you have to employ in between the breeding site and the human habitations. Once after the emergence, they enter into the ramp traps and they are caught in the correction. So sampling the adult population, now we are seeing the resting population. So sampling the resting population provides more representative sample of the population as a whole than the most other method, because other methods you are applying attract and light traps and all those things. Here only the resting population you are sampling. You can collect mosquitoes of various ages, various gonotrophic conditions, that is unfed, blood fed, semi-fed, semi-gravid and gravid. But the resting population sample, you see, given point of time, any species you take, there is a population always resting indoor, always resting. Suppose we used to say that this mosquito is endophily. It doesn't mean endophily means it is resting only indoor. Given point of time, some proportion of the population may be resting outdoor. So outdoor resting. So there are exclusively there are species that rest exclusively outdoor also. Season wise, the resting habitat it will change also. But sampling mosquito inside the human dwelling or cattle shed is easy because they are resting in a confined area. But sampling the mosquitoes in the outdoor, it is very difficult, time consuming, and rewarding. So most of the majority of the vector mosquitoes rest indoor. Vectors of arbovirus rarely rest the outdoor. Rarely rest indoor, mostly resting in the outdoor conditions. So for sampling the adult population, what are the method or devices available? You can use a glass tube, but more number of mosquitoes you cannot, one or two only you can collect. Then generally what we are using, aspirator, oral aspirator we are using. Even we have not switched over to mechanical aspirator. So generally there are two methods we are using. Only that resting mosquitoes inside the human dwelling and cattle shed we are using the oral aspirator we are collecting. The other one method is knockdown pyrethrum spray. Knockdown pyrethrum spray. Otherwise it is called pyrethrum spray sheet collection (PSC). What here you will do, you close the windows doors of the hut. The hut is sprayed with 0.1% to 0.2% pyrethrum mixed in kerosene. After 15 minutes, you open the door and windows. Then, before spraying, you will spread a white sheet on the floor. Then you close the doors and windows, then spraying. After spraying, 15 minutes you have to leave that. After that, you open that door. Then you see that whatever mosquito knocked down, you will find the mosquitoes on the floor. Floor means white sheet. That you can pick up with this one brush. Then you transfer into a cotton wool. Then petri inside that you can keep. Wet cotton you can keep and bring to the laboratory. That is, these are the two methods it is used. Now you can see that oral aspirator, what we are using. This is the insect collector collecting the mosquito inside the human dwelling. Now many people they switched over to mechanical aspirator because the insect collector daily his work is he will go to different areas, he will be collecting the mosquitoes. Every time he will be sucking. So the mosquito scales and the wing scale, body scale, and the dust from the huts, everything he is inhaling. Ultimately, he will be developing bronchitis, asthma. So to avoid that, now we can use mechanical aspirator. Only one disadvantage is while operating the mechanical aspirator, it creates sound. So while collecting the biting mosquitoes, it will disturb the sound will disturb them. So it will not be possible to collect all the time successfully. Now it is CDC backpack aspirator. You can use in the cattle shed large number of EC, but it is very to carry. But if you use in that cattle shed, you can collect thousands of mosquitoes. Only disadvantage is CDC backpack aspirator. It is very difficult. This is weight, 12-watt battery. Then this chair, that backpack chair, that is also weight. So in order to avoid this heaviness, they have just modified the Procopack aspirator. So it is better to use instead of oral aspirator, mechanical aspirator. Now Procopack aspirator is available. You can extend that pole also so that you can any height you can collect mosquitoes. Is it below the cupboard and everywhere, bed, everywhere you can collect this. This is most preferred method in my experience. 37 years of research experience, I am telling. Even program people they can supply this. This can be used indoor as well as outdoor because you can just to walk on the bushes and disturb the mosquitoes you can collect. So outdoor already I told that our collection of outdoor resting mosquito it is time consuming and rewarding. But whatever may be, there are some method available. You can see that sweep net. Generally, people use nowadays sweep net that they disturb the bushes and they collect. Sweep netting and use of various type of mechanical section sweepers available. The foreign countries they use in the dust time they use the suction sweepers mounted on the vehicle. Then various trapping devices also are available. You can make artificial resting surfaces. The next figure is this is the left side. This is earth-lined box shelter nearer to a. This we can create. So inside the box you line with the plaster, mud plaster you do. Then you cover one third of the entrance, leave it nearer to the breeding habitat. Then you can collect this. The mosquitoes that comes for oviposition also they take rest some time and then go for oviposition. The emerging mosquitoes also they will be resting. This is another artificial shelter, first developed by Muirhead Thompson, one scientist. 2 meter depth, 2 meter width, height, everything. Again, inside that, he is making some small cavities. So these type of things, if you allow that, the mosquitoes will rest in the. They find the microclimatic condition for resting in these cavities. Morning you can go and lift, then you can collect. So this is a drop net. This is this type of the drop net. Just four people they will carry and they will without disturbing. So this is a only in the low lying vegetation you can put. A drop net used for collecting mosquitoes from the grass or low lying vegetation. Drop nets also we can use. So in summary, I will not take much of your time. In summary, what we need that for collecting, what are the methods available. So we are particular about the collecting the malaria vector, anaphylaxis. We can use hand catch, mechanical aspirator or oral aspirator, but I have suggested that Procopac aspirator. We remember that Procopac aspirator you can suggest to the program. Then pyrethrum spray sheet collection already told that 0.1 to 0.2% pyrethrum extract mixed in kerosene it is sprayed inside the head. Human landing collection, very important one, but you have to get ethical clearance. You have CDC miniature light trap. You can use CDC miniature light trap alone or weighted with chemical attractants like butanol, carbon dioxide, octanol, etc. But nowadays, for sampling, what they do that CDC miniature trap, they're setting adjacent to a man sitting inside a bed net. You can also use BG sentinel trap. Then for outdoor, you can use pit or box shelters. These are the methods available for sampling the. You can use. Coming to the aiders. So mostly outdoor restaurant, you know that nowadays they are also resting indoor. You can use hand catches using mechanical, oral or Procopack. That also you can add Procopack aspirator. Is available commercially. DG Sentinel trap, I told that even the principal also, this is also commercially available. Yes, already I have given this. Okay. Sweep net we are using. Man landing collection, again you have to get ethical clearance, animal bed collection. But out of this important, Procopack, BG Sentinel tab, sweep net. So coming to the QLEX, you have variety of options and catches using the oral and mechanical aspirator. I told the gravity trap you can use CDC light trap with or without attractants. The attractants already I told that butanol, octanol, carbon dioxide, like that. These are the many companies they are telling that mosquito magnet, but I don't know they are not that much successful. There are many versions of this magnet series. Human landing collection, pyrethrum spreadsheet collection. But for man-made species, what happened? Hand catches you can use, mechanical oral proper human landing collection, but larval collection, washing and uprooting. Thank you very much.